Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 34th Annual Tribute to Women event. I'm Cerise Cole. I'm the morning anchor at KMTV 3 News Now. It is such a pleasure to be here with you today and be your MC once again for this wonderful event. Thank you so much for taking time out of your hectic schedules to recognize the work being done by those right here in our community. Let me be the first to say congratulations to the 2021 honorees. Well, today, 11 amazing women will be recognized for their outstanding contributions to our community through their professional and volunteer service. We'll also have the opportunity to be reminded of the critical work the WCA is doing and why they are such an important resource and support for so many in our community. Each year, the WCA receives countless nominations of women in our community doing amazing work to improve the lives of those living in our communities. This year, Carmen Tapio, 2020 honoree and 2021 Tribute to Women chair, led the volunteer selection committee to find the most wonderful and deserving candidates to honor. She was joined in this effort by Brenda Council, Jessie Hitchens, Rachel Jacobson, Emily Waja, and Waddy White. Thank you all so much for your assistance this year. To continue recognizing outstanding leadership in our community, I'd like to ask you to help me formally recognize our 2021 Tribute to Women Honorary Chair, Carmen Tapio. Carmen, of course, is no stranger to this event. She was recognized as an honoree in 2020. Thank you so much, Carmen, for your leadership and support. Today's event would not be a success without you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Denise Powell. Denise is partner at Alley Pointer Makito Architecture, and she serves as the 2021 chair of the WCA Board of Directors. Denise?
Cerise, thank you so much for the introduction and for being such a wonderful partner to the WCA. On behalf of the WCA Board of Directors, I'm also thrilled to welcome you to the 34th Annual Tribute to Women event. This is our second and hopefully our last virtual event because we miss you all and we look forward to celebrating in person again sometime soon. Today, we're recognizing an exceptional group of women who have devoted their personal and professional lives to supporting and empowering their communities. Tribute to Women never ceases to inspire. The event is an annual reminder of the innate strength of women and a reflection of the critical role women play in our city. Speaking of inspirational women and a few men too, on behalf of the board, I want to take a moment to thank the awesome staff at the WCA. For more than a century, people have been coming to this organization in their darkest hour, and WCA team members are often the light on the path to safety. This work is tough, but so are they, and we owe them all a debt of gratitude. Thank you. While this work is difficult and sometimes draining, it's fueled by two critical ideas. First, that everyone, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, socioeconomic level, deserves to feel safe. And second, optimism that things can get better when we support one another. The women we are honoring today believe these things too. Their work runs the gamut from advocating for health equity, creating pathways for education and career development, fighting for immigrants in our state, mentoring women and particularly women of color, and much more. In the stories that you'll hear today, I hope you'll find messages of hope, courage, and strength. Megan, Christina, Anna, Ashley, Silan, Itzel, Dr. Jasmine, Cindy, Carrie, Nanette, and Callie, thank you for all you've done for this community and for all you'll continue to build, nurture, and grow. It is our honor to recognize you today. I would be remiss if I didn't thank a few important virtual audience members today. We are so grateful to our wonderful sponsors who made this event possible. Thank you so much for your support. You can find a full list of sponsors on our website, wcaomaha.org. I would like to take a minute to recognize our platinum level sponsors, the Lozier Foundation, Sherwood Foundation, Union Pacific, Susan and Mike Labens, and a gift in honor of Mona Faith by the Faith Family Charitable Trust. Their support today allows us to celebrate the contributions of our 2021 honorees while raising important funds for the WCA's critical programs and services. We are so grateful for your support. I want to thank my fellow board members and Omaha's best guild ever, the WCA Partners Guild, as well as the many volunteers who donate their time, talent, and treasure to furthering the WCA's mission. I'd like to extend our sincere appreciation to the fabulous Cerise, who is serving as the MC for this program for the 4th year in a row. We are big fans. Thank you, Cerise. And now it is my pleasure to pass the virtual baton to our wonderful CEO, Jeanette Taylor.
Thank you, Denise. As we reflect on 2020, we have to acknowledge all the challenging times presented as we navigated a global pandemic. The nation faced a reckoning with racial injustice, and the WCA dealt with its own internal challenges. In the last 9 months, I have bore witness to the WCA staff and board leaning in and focusing on the work that needs to be done. We have focused on taking care of our clients and pushing for organizational change. One of my favorite quotes is, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with just a single step," and we are moving forward one step at a time. 2020 can be characterized as the perfect storm. I think we can all agree to that. The WCA was not immune to those challenges that the year presented, and we've had some extraordinary things happen throughout the year, such as we've created new partnerships. We have a whole systems change organizational project that we're working on with the Trauma Stress Institute out of Washington, DC. We have a new housing program that has taken off, and we've been able to house many victims. And our legal team has expanded our community outreach, helping more clients in all areas of Omaha. We've strengthened our programs, and we've experienced other organizational growth opportunities. I am so grateful for the dedication of our staff, our board, our stakeholders, and our funders. We continue to support our clients and their needs, and that has always been a priority. I am really, really grateful for our perseverance as an organization and also our hope for the future. And again, our priority is our clients. The Women's Center for Advancement saves hundreds of lives each year. It's truly the go-to place for any person that's experiencing domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, or human trafficking. In 2020 alone, we provided advocacy support, legal services, crisis counseling, and training in the community. We've had more than 8,000 calls come in on our hotline that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we had advocates meet with 332 clients at local hospitals, all while navigating this pandemic. We have served 4,102 individuals in 2020, and all of our victim services are free and confidential. And again, we provided all these services free to our clients in a pandemic. I would like to thank you all for being here today and for supporting these phenomenal women and the WCA. Please continue to support the work of the WCA with either donations or volunteering. I'd like to thank you for that in advance. I'd also like to introduce our speaker this year, Brittany Parker. Brittany is the director of our housing program at the WCA. She is also a boxer with Team USA. She's a Team USA champion. She's the owner of Brittany's Balance, which is a wellness company for women of color. And she's also a survivor of domestic violence. Her story is truly one of triumph over tragedy. And I'm so thankful that she is here today to share her story with us. She inspires me every day, and she'll be an inspiration to you all. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our speaker, Brittany Parker.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. According to Webster, perseverance is being steadfast and doing something despite difficulties. That's what it took to get to this point. From childhood trauma, domestic violence, and now being a single mom, life has been challenging to say the least. I hope my story displays what it takes to succeed. First off, you have to fight. You have to become a fighter. Life is going to throw you all types of obstacles, but you have to get strong enough to be able to jump through the hurdles. As a 6-time national champion, I know what it takes to win. Discipline, structure, focus, work ethic, drive, and dedication. I used all these skills to navigate my difficult life till now I am a winner. Everyone has a fight. Everyone's fight is different. We all have our own battles we must overcome. When life kicks you down, you need to get back up. Or what I like to say, when life punches, you punch back. You need to punch harder than the opposition. I'm going to tell my story. It started with him breaking his own things, his phone, punching holes in the wall. but then it turned to breaking my things. The first time he hit me, I was 3 months pregnant. I felt trapped, alone, scared, confused. As a young 18-year-old girl, I was assigned a task to raise a child on my own. I depended on him for everything. Now I know that's what he liked: power and control, dynamics. This is your classic case of domestic violence. The abuse continued the duration of my pregnancy and after. I kept telling myself, if he just sees his child, the abuse will stop, but it didn't. It wasn't until I became strong enough and realized that I needed to survive for my son. Although I didn't have the strength to leave for me, I gravitated to my son and wanted a bright future for him. I was abused mentally, physically, and emotionally, but I didn't allow it to break me. It made me a warrior. I could now come back from anything, and I set off on the path of success. I was unstoppable. I went through the worst thing that anyone can ever go through. I wasn't scared. There was no fear. You couldn't do anything that wasn't done to me, I said, and I began to fight. From being 8 months pregnant, walking across the stage during my high school graduation, I remember wondering and thinking, could anyone see my Black eye? So I hid bangs to cover it. But looking forward, in May 14th, 2021, I graduated with my associate's degree in Health and Human Services from Metro Community College. I'm currently ranked on Team USA #1 in the nation in my weight division. And I'm the founder of Brittany's Balance, a health and wellness company that's promoting health and wellness to Black women. I am now the housing director at the very agency where I received services 10 years ago. Instead of being lost and stuck in my pain, I used it as a tool. I used it as fuel. I turned my pain into purpose, and I turned it into passion. I get to look my clients in the face every single day and tell them, if I can do it, so can you. I get to provide services that were not here when I received services at the WCA. I'm breaking trends and setting molds for everyone just like me. Someone that had a dream and someone tried to stump off my light, but I didn't let them. I would continue to go through trials and tribulations up until this point, but I already made up my mind. I'm a champion in and out of the ring. Everything I do in the ring, I duplicate it, because life is always going to be a fight. Life is always going to be a battle. What happened to me was not fair. I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it. It was uncomfortable. I didn't have the support I needed. I didn't have the love and nurture I needed. But look where I came. Despite all of that, I still found a way to be successful. I just knew that someone had to fight for that little boy, and that someone was me. So you have to become a warrior. You have to become a fighter. And that's why I tell people when they ask me, how did I do it? The things that I possess, you also possess. And I'm so glad that my story is an inspiration to all. Never give up. Never let someone determine your future. And never let anything stop you from reaching your destiny. The ultimate revenge is to keep on living, keep on thriving. Thank you.
Okay, it's super unfair that I have to follow Brittany because that was amazing. Brittany, you and your story are such an inspiration. We are so grateful for your willingness to share with us today, and so grateful for the important work that you do to advocate for other survivors of domestic or sexual violence. Brittany's work, both the housing program she manages at the WCA and the work she does to empower women, is vital Support from individuals and organizations like ours is critical to achieving physical and psychological safety and ultimately self-empowerment. Make no mistakes, the services the WCA provides are transformative and in many, many cases, life-saving. For all of you watching today and anyone tuning in later, thank you for supporting this event. If you're moved by the stories that you hear today and want to support those impacted by domestic violence and sexual assault, human trafficking and stalking, now is your chance. We are going to make it so easy for you. We have 4 great ways that you can give. Number 1, you can click the donate button at the top of your screen on GiveButter. Number 2, scan the QR code to donate. We're super fancy, QR code. Number 3, you can text tribute to 202-858-1233. Or number 4, you can visit our website right now at wcaomaha.org and click on donate on the menu icon on the top right of the page. While making your donation, consider designating a gift in recognition of one of our Tribute to Women honorees or a loved one. Know that your donation will go toward the operating costs of supporting the programs and services of the WCA, which are desperately needed in our community and always free for our clients. Please help us continue to meet the growing needs of the WCA clients as we help those affected by domestic violence and sexual assault achieve safety and empower them to lead self-determined lives. Thank you again for your generous support of the WCA and its mission. Please know that your gift is truly making a difference in the lives of our clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise, and thank you to all of you for supporting the WCA. And now, for the highlights of today's gathering, we're going to play a video to learn more about the 2021 Tribute to Women honorees.
There are so many people that are walking around traumatized, they're lost, their lives are not advancing, they become trapped. There's generational, I think, occurrence of the abuse and the trauma that exists as well. And the work of the WCA is to address not only what is happening now, but to bring the individual, the victim, out of their circumstances and to set them up for future success. We need the community to keep doing the work that we have been doing, but it needs to happen at an accelerated pace. We have to close these gaps, the disparity gaps. We can't slow down. We need to further accelerate and further advance the pace of our work, because as time goes on, the gaps widen.
It's a very small community, and I think we all rise together, and we're coming out of a period where I think many individuals feel like there's not enough. And I think if we partner together and if we raise up together, there's a lot of abundance that we can do to support those in need in our community, which I think has really significant impact for everyone. I think no matter where I am, I like to be having impact on whatever organization I'm a part of. I would say my driver in all things are my 2 daughters. I have 2 young daughters, and I'm very interested in creating a better community and a better potential professional environment for them as I think about them evolving into adulthood. And they are really my inspiration and driver behind everything I do.
I think we all have needed support from someone else. We all have been at some point in our lives in a vulnerable position. I have personally appreciated when someone has been there for me, and I think it's a principle of honor to reciprocate and to help others when they need. And I think it's more beautiful when you help other people that they don't know you or you don't know them, because that's really, to me, is true giving. When you give and you are going to get something back because of gratitude or because of friendship, but it's not the same when you give out of the pure desire of giving, because that is what fills your heart and you don't expect anything in return.
I see it as being important to support others because I'm not sure what else there is in life, right? Like finding ways to support and love others is what gives our lives purpose and meaning. I think I'm very mindful of the fact that our clients have a broad range of needs for supports, and we can only address a very narrow slice. In order to provide appropriate supports, we have to have a community of providers who each, bring a piece to the table and have to know one another well enough to make those referrals. That's something we're always working toward, right, as a community, and trying to strengthen and perfect. I think it's what gives life purpose.
I like to think of humans as candles. Imagine a birthday cake. Usually when you're lighting a birthday cake, you take that first candle and you light it. And then you take that first candle and you usually light the rest of the cake candles with that one. Your flame doesn't go out as you light the additional candles. And sometimes the flame grows from the collective flames of the two. When you see that spark of someone believing in themselves, that just didn't have that push. Everyone has the skill set to be something incredible in their lives. We just all aren't born into the situation that encourages it. And I think taking someone that hasn't had that encouragement and exposing them to their abilities and seeing that light switch of like, oh, I'm actually really dope at this and I'm gonna be successful at this, for me, drives me every day.
I think one of the most important things that we can do as women is to help other women succeed in life. We need to work to eliminate barriers and to make sure that everyone has access to that path forward to a better community. Because like we all stand on the shoulders of the people that have gone before us. A more diverse and inclusive community where everybody is represented is a stronger community. I have a vision for Omaha and for our broader community of a diverse and inclusive community where everyone has a voice, but everyone's also willing to listen, and that racism and hatred are no longer tolerated. That's my wish for the next generation.
Growing up Latina, my home language is Spanish, and I'm very involved in the Hispanic community here in Omaha. You'll be surprised to hear that, you go talk to your neighbors and they just don't know that these opportunities exist. And I think it has to do with access. These opportunities are not offering Spanish. These opportunities are not available to people without an immigration status. I think the need of access to opportunities is huge. I think a lot of people are just not aware of all these resources. If you're here and you have a purpose, at the time, maybe you don't understand what that purpose might be, and that's why the Pay It Forward is truly important to me because I get to leave that. I know that I was there once, and now I need to lend a hand and open opportunities to others that might not have that.
For me, as a member of the Black community, to see how this pandemic has really impacted my community. One of the things I've been really passionate about is trying to make sure that our community here in Omaha is informed. For me, that has been the most fulfilling piece of all of this, was really getting a chance to embrace what community engagement really is about. I want to inspire young women that look like me to go into medicine. By putting myself out there and connecting with these young people, I am hopefully going to make a difference by pulling them in and getting them to participate in this healthcare workforce. And then they'll pull more people in, and then suddenly we'll have a healthcare workforce that actually represents the community that we're serving.
When one feels supported and valued, everything changes. It's been incredibly important. The partnership between the WCA, Methodist, Heartland Family Service, and others, that partnership is key to transforming these victims to survivors and just helping them to grow over time, and for women to find their voice and their place and their power. The current need, in my view, is just for everyone to be more supportive of each other. That support truly makes our community stronger, makes our families stronger, and everyone wins. Our community needs us to support nonprofits, because when these organizations succeed, our community wins.
Omaha is a very relational town. I've often said, and I've heard a lot of people say, if we can't get it done in Omaha, then I'm not really sure where it can get done. Most of the work and what inspires me are the people that I get to work with on a daily basis. It's finding the leaders, it's finding those that want to shake up the system and the status quo, figuring out how to get them the resources and getting out of the way. A lot of the work that we invest in, again, whether it is children that are impacted by the justice system or the child welfare system, or that have been incarcerated, to those that are just struggling to get to school daily, it's purely the resilience that people have in this community. There is so much resilience, and again, I think that wraps back to the personal relationships and the support systems that is so great about Omaha.
I truly believe that everyone has a story. The stories that are heartbreaking, the stories that are hard to listen to, the stories that make us feel feelings that we don't like to feel because they're uncomfortable. I want to be that person to hold space for somebody to be able to tell their story and to be believed. You know, the way that I see the support groups is that it is an opportunity to provide a safe space for 90 minutes once a week for survivors. And honestly, it doesn't matter to me what you're a survivor of, because I think it's important that everybody has that opportunity.
She had breast cancer. She had thought she had beat it about a year before. She was in, great health, and then all of a sudden they got the news that she passed away. And so it was really hard to swallow. I mean, not just for, us, the family, but, for everybody. Most people know Callie in the Omaha community. She's lived here for 20 years. When she started at the foundation in 2014, she was she was so excited. I remember her telling me, at the time that, essentially this was her dream job, to really kind of combine, that love of, charity and community. You really have to care about what you're doing, and that's what Callie did, and that's what she represented.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our honorees. Honorees, as I say your name, we'll spotlight you on camera. Please feel free to wave or say a few words if you'd like. We begin with Megan Belcher. Megan serves as Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Secretary for Schooler. She leads their legal team, as well as their brand marketing and corporate communications and sustainability teams. In addition, during 2020, Megan served as the company's interim chief human resource officer and founded Schooler's first employee resource group, Schooler Women Influencing Culture. Always an active advocate, Megan mentors women inside and outside of her field. She proactively seeks out opportunities for other women, be it speaking engagements, articles, or connections with other professionals. She has started several organizations to facilitate growth and networking for all women in the legal profession, such as Drinks Among Friends, the Women's General Counsel Mastermind, Omaha General Counsel Alliance, and Omaha's Institute on Law and Policy. Megan volunteers with and uses her leadership skills to serve several nonprofit organizations and regularly provides pro bono legal counsel services to a number of nonprofits. She also rallies others to collectively aid the community, especially endeavors that support women and children. Megan's most used line is, "How can I support you?" Whether by giving her own direct support or creating a connection to someone else who can, Megan is relentless in her devotion to empowering women to succeed in this community. Megan is a previous recipient of the Nebraska Bar's Outstanding Contributor to Women and the Law Award, and a prior recipient of the Midlands Business Journal's 40 Under 40 recognition. She's also been recognized 3 times by Ethisphere Magazine as a top ethics and compliance officer, received Inside Counsel Magazine's Sharing the Power of Transformative Leadership Award, and was named to the Association of Corporate Counsel's inaugural Top 10 30-somethings list. Megan, thank you so much for your commitment to empowerment.
Thank you, Cerise, and just thank you to the Women's Center for Advancement for making safety not a privilege, but a basic human right in Omaha. And I am extremely grateful for your work and the recognition today, and also just want to recognize that I'm sitting in a room today for an incredible employer that supports my desire to have impact in my community and also impact with my two girls. So I am very lucky and very privileged, and want to just thank everyone for their incredible support.
Thank you. Christina Castro Matukowicz. Christina is the Community Relations Vice President for Wells Fargo in Nebraska, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Originally from Barranquilla, Colombia, Christina is the youngest in a family of 13 children. She migrated to the United States to pursue a master's degree in business administration. Christina ensures that women's voices, especially women of color, are heard through her leadership and commitments within our community. In both her current role with Wells Fargo and her former role at Girl Scouts Great Plains Council, she has been able to create and develop recognized programs for youth and women that support financial literacy programs, outreach to the unbanked and underbanked. She serves as a Nebraska Latin American Commission member and is on the boards of the Urban League of Nebraska and the Applied Information Management Institute, known as the AIM Institute, where she invests her time ensuring that women and people of color have a seat at the table. Christina has been named one of the 10 outstanding young Omahans and was honored by the Omaha JCs with the Distinguished Community Service Award. She also received the 40 Under 40 Award from the Midlands Business Journal and participated in the Bankers Without Borders Global Fellowship Program. Christina, thank you so much for your outstanding leadership.
Thank you, Therese. I am very grateful for being here today, surrounded by this outstanding group of women who are receiving this award. I would like, more than anything, to thank Carmen Tapio and her committee, Janet Taylor, the CEO of the WCA, and the person who nominated me. You know who you are. I am honored by the privilege of being here today in supporting the WCA for the outstanding work that they do to help women in this community. It is a privilege and an honor. Thank you.
Christina, thank you. Our next honoree is Anna Deal. Anna, the Director of Legal Strategy at Immigrant Legal Center, decided to commit her career to helping immigrants and their families stay safe and grow strong when tutoring immigrant and refugee children during college in Seattle. After graduating cum laude from Boston College Law School, a 2-year appointment through the Attorney General Honors Program brought Anna to Nebraska to begin her legal career as an attorney advisor at the Omaha Immigration Court. When she completed her appointment in 2015, Anna joined Immigrant Legal Center. At ILC, Anna has been a zealous advocate for hundreds of unaccompanied minors, survivors of intrafamily violence, and other immigrants at risk of family separation and deportation. In one case, Anna's advocacy helped preserve access to asylum protections throughout the U.S. 8th Circuit Court, when the Circuit Court affirmed that an asylum applicant must establish that the government is unable or unwilling to protect against a private actor prosecutor, as opposed to showing that the government is completely helpless to prevent the harm. This distinction can be critical for asylum claims based on intrafamily violence in countries where laws prohibit domestic abuse, but such laws are not enforced. Additionally, in partnership with the Women's Fund of Omaha, Anna helped to craft and secure the passage of LB 518 in 2020, a bill that brings uniformity to how Nebraska law enforcement agencies adjudicate survivors' requests to certify certain crimes, including domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking, to provide access to victim-based immigration relief. Anna, your dedication has made our community safer for all, and we thank you.
Thank you so much, Cerise. I'd just like to congratulate my fellow honorees. I'm so honored to be included among this group of really remarkable women. I'd also like to thank my colleagues who nominated me and who provide so much support and camaraderie on a daily basis and make ILC an amazing place to work. And finally, thank you to the Women's Center for Advancement. You are doing such critical work in our community. You've been such an amazing partner to us for years in serving immigrant survivors. So thank you.
Anna, thank you. Our next honoree is Ashley Kewen. Ashley has spent a significant amount of time in the real estate development world while helping to start one of the now largest real estate development companies in Omaha. As Executive Vice President of White Lotus Group for 15 years, Ashley led more than $450 million in development and construction. In August of 2018, with the full support of White Lotus Group, Ashley decided to step down as EVP and co-founded a 100% woman-owned, 100% minority-owned real estate and construction company, Blair Freeman. As a child, her interest in real estate was first sparked when she became fascinated with the different conditions of real estate in her North Omaha neighborhood. Well, her fascination led her to want a career as someone that's able to impact the face of real estate in Omaha. Ashley believes in giving back to the community and city through service. She currently serves as the board of directors for Greater Omaha Chamber, WCA, Logier Foundation, Omaha Girls Inc., and is the president of Crew Omaha Metro. She's a Girls Inc. mentor and voting member of IB Black Girl. In her free time, Ashley enjoys spending time with family and friends, participating in outdoor activities, including hiking, biking, and camping, and is an avid reader, sports fan, and a passionate advocate for women's empowerment. She is married to Christopher Kewen and has 3 beautiful children, Jayla, Olivia, and Chris. Ashley has been recognized as Woman of the Year by Winning Women and Teens, a Woman in Tech Trailblazer by the Emerging Ladies Academy, Mentor of the Year by Young, Black, and Influential, and one of the Midlands Business Journal's 40 Under 40. Her business also was honored as one of the Omaha Chamber's Small Businesses of the Month in 2020. Ashley, your spirit and your drive is a true inspiration for all, and we thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to the WCA for this incredible honor. The organization is a constant reminder of the importance of staying in tune and involved in the community. We all need to utilize that reach that we have to make the path easier for those that come behind us, no matter how broad or narrow the reaches that we may have. I, of course, have to say thank you so much to my supportive husband, my beautiful parents and kids, and the powerful tribe of women that support and encourage me every day. Again, thank you so much.
Ashley, thank you. Our next honoree is Celan LaGreca. Celan has more than 30 years of corporate management experience in marketing, brand management, communications, public relations, and strategic planning. After a 30-year career as an executive with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska, she formed her own consulting firm, the LaGreca Group, specializing in strategy, marketing, and public relations. She counsels both corporate and nonprofit clients on a wide range of issues, including strategic planning, communication strategy development, branding, media training, and community relations. Through her volunteer work, Celan shares her power of compassion, her vision for equality for all, and her wisdom in executing ideas to make change happen, especially where women and children are involved. She oversees charitable processes, mentors and advocates for other women, and serves on boards for organizations such as Omaha Sister Association, the Q's Fund, Marion High School, and many others. Celan has a 2016 honoree of Women on a Mission for Change, and in 2018, she was named Marion High School Alumna of the Year. And in 2019, she was inducted into the 10 Outstanding Young Omahans Hall of Fame. Celan, thank you so much for your commitment to our community.
Thanks, Therese. I'd just like to take a minute to acknowledge and thank the two women who took the time and effort to nominate me for this honor. Laura Shablowski, who is the managing partner of Clarent Partners, and Mary Higgins, the president of Marion High School. I'd also like to thank my husband, Tim Crowley, who's with me here today, for his loving support of all my community involvement and all the time that takes. So I appreciate you, Tim. I'd also be remiss if I did not mention my deep gratitude to the WCA for all of their programs that support survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. The WCA truly makes a difference in the lives of women and children in our community. Finally, to all the women out there that are watching this program today, let me just encourage you to be good to each other and to support other women in any way that you are able, as a mentor, as an advocate, as an employer, as a friend. Because as women, we all have a responsibility to lift up other women, especially women of color. And I believe that Omaha will be a stronger community when we have more women and more diversity in all types of leadership roles. So please do whatever you can to help advocate for and lift up other women and to help them be successful.
Good advice, thank you. Our next honoree is Itzel Lopez. Itzel serves as Vice President of Advancement and Community Relationships at the AIM Institute, a local nonprofit that grows a strong and diverse tech community through education, career development, and outreach. Itzel has helped usher in strategic partnerships within the business community to open new avenues for talent recruitment that bridges skills gaps in the tech industry, especially those relating to gender, race, ethnicity, and access. Now, those who know Itzel personally know that she is passionate about connecting individuals, bridging communities through education, and advocating for women and minority community members who may not otherwise have a seat at the table. Her natural leadership skills have been on display since she arrived in Omaha from Hidalgo, Mexico, when she was 12 years old. Starting in the Hispanic community, she has expanded her focus of impact with each passing year to the whole of this region. She currently serves on Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce's Young Professionals Council. She served for more than 2 years on the mayor-appointed Omaha Millennial Advisory Committee and was named the 2020 recipient of the inaugural Young Nebraskans Award for Community Impact and Involvement. She's also a graduate from Leadership Omaha. Itzel's passion for people and her desire to see them realize their potential runs deep. Her work has made our community better and richer. She is a leader among her peers and a role model to many. Itzel is married and a proud mother to her daughter. Thank you so much for your passion to connect the community.
Well, first of all, I just encourage communities by providing access to free technology curriculum every day. And we are in the business of changing people's lives. And I truly believe that everyone can impact someone's life by letting them where you might not know that that person might need it. I also want to congratulate my fellow honoree woman today. Woman can definitely make a difference. So if you're not playing woman and you're watching today, allow women to raise into leadership positions and allow others to, those women to also make those changes in your organization. Because I really believe that when we're leading together, we can really make a difference, not only in Omaha, but around the world. I also want to thank my family, my friends, and my supportive daughter, and my mom, of course. With that all, thank God. Thank you so much.
Itself, thank you so much. Our next honoree this afternoon, Dr. Jasmine R. Marcellin. Dr. Marcellin is an assistant professor of infectious diseases, co-director of digital innovation and social media strategy for the Division of Infectious Diseases, associate medical director of antimicrobial stewardship, and associate program director of the University of Nebraska Medical Center Internal Medicine Residency. From Dominica, Dr. Marcellin. earned her medical degree from American University of Antigua College of Medicine, and completed internal medicine and infectious diseases training at Mayo Clinic. Dr. Marcellin is a fierce advocate for health equity and justice for patients and the community, and a champion for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion in healthcare. A fellow of the Infectious Diseases Society of America, ISDA, she is the youngest member ever elected to the ISDA Board of Directors. She's also a founding member of the ISDA Inclusion, Diversity, Access, and Equity Task Force. Under her direction, the UNMC IM residency program recruited its most diverse class of new residents, and she continues to develop programs designed to create a more inclusive environment. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Marcellin has been a trusted messenger to the community regarding COVID-19 and vaccines. She convened a collaborative of healthcare workers and community members focused on increasing vaccine access to minoritized communities, particularly in the North Omaha community. Through their Girls Inc. COVID-19 Vaccine Clinic initiative, they provided more than 5,000 vaccines, with 21% of these administered to Black residents and 37% of vaccines administered to North Omaha residents. Dr. Marcellin received the top teacher awards in the UNMC Internal Medicine Residency and Infectious Diseases Fellowship for the past 3 years consecutively. This year, she was inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society as an exemplar of humanistic patient care, serving as a role model, mentor, and leader. In 2020, she received the UNMC Student Senate Distinguished Mentor Award for being a catalyst towards the development of Nebraska's future leaders of healthcare. In her free time, she enjoys reading all genres and spending time with her husband, Dr. Alberto Marcellin, and 2 sons. Dr. Marcellin, your work is an inspiration to us all.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the WCA for this honor. I want to thank the individual or individuals who nominated me. You know who you are. Thank you out there. You know, this is really an honor, and I really feel blessed by God to be in a position where I can be able to accept an honor like this amongst women who are not only so well accomplished, but also so committed to their communities. My parents are watching from Dominica. My sisters are watching from London and Dubai. I want to say thank you to them as well. And my husband, Alberto Marcellin, who is my rock, and my sons, Giovanni and Nathaniel, who have all been really supportive of me, as well as our chosen family here in Omaha. And, you know, a lot of the work that I've been doing in Omaha here would not have been done without the support of friends, colleagues, and others who have been supportive. So big shout out to my Mocha Docs, which is a collaborative of healthcare women professionals, Black women from across Omaha, and my trainees for whom I go to work every day to bring joy through providing an equitable lens to view healthcare and medicine. And the Department of Medicine and my department chair, Dr. Romberger, who allows me to be my authentic self and pursue all of these activities in medicine and propose change where it needs be and support us where we need it. Thank you all. And last but not least, I wanted to thank Brittany Parker for sharing her story with us and for being vulnerable and for encouraging us to punch when life punches at us, because we all need that encouragement and reminders to be strong and seek that strength in others around us. So thank you and congratulations to all of the women.
Dr. Marcellin, thank you so much. And thank you for giving us an international audience. We love it. Our next honoree today, I'm giving you a title, Cindy Peacock. Cindy is passionate about helping other women. She chose a career that would allow her to make a difference through healthcare. She's worked at Methodist Hospital Foundation for 24 years. Her commitment to helping women stay safe and grow strong has made the Metro a better place to live. When Cindy began her career, there were not many female presidents and CEOs. Well, instead of conforming to others' beliefs, Cindy chartered her own course and set an example for other women. She had the confidence to be herself in all situations. When others said things couldn't be done, or it would cost too much, or the support just wasn't there, Cindy saw opportunities. Cindy has been an advocate for the lack of access to behavioral health care in our community. Cindy's dedication has removed many barriers often encountered when trying to access mental health counseling and resources for those impacted by trauma, especially in area schools. Cindy's greatest joy is in encouraging others, and she is very vocal cheerleader, sharing praise wherever she goes. She also counsels and helps open doors for other nonprofit leaders. Cindy understands when nonprofits are successful, the community wins. Cindy's empathy and concern shines through when you look at where she volunteers her time. Some of her community involvement has included service with the University of Nebraska Medical Center Board of Counselors, the Nebraska Attorney General's Sexual Assault Task Force, the Phoenix Academy's Board of Directors, Domestic Violence Coordinating Council of Greater Omaha, YMCA Board of Directors Hospice House, the Josie Harper Residence Building Task Force, Family Service Marketing Committee, Teammates, Merrymakers Board of Directors, and UNO Women's Walk Strike Force. Cindy, your compassion is felt throughout the community, and we thank you.
Thank you, Cerise. Thank you, WCA, for this incredible honor. Thank you to the friends and colleagues that have supported me along the way. Today, I accept this honor in celebration of my daughters and the amazing honorees, past and present. Thanks to all of you for supporting the important work of the WCA that results in a healthier, stronger, more compassionate community.
Thank you so much. Cindy, thank you so much. Our next honoree is Carrie Sanchez. Carrie is the Director of Urban Initiatives with the Sherwood Foundation. She's a role model of all women and girls in the Omaha Metro and beyond. Through her professional, volunteer, and personal life, she's made the Omaha community a better place for all of its residents. As a leader, she exemplifies tenacity and dedication to making Omaha a healthier place. In 1996, Carrie began working as the executive director for Live Well Omaha, now the Wellbeing Partners, a healthy community movement in Omaha. She was responsible for seeding and directing the vision and operations, including the maintenance and growth of the partnership and board development and oversight. Carrie acted as a catalyst to move Live Well Omaha towards being a national leader in creating one of the healthiest cities in the next 10 years. In 2012, Carrie joined the Sherwood Foundation and focuses on teen health, juvenile justice, neighborhood safety, re-entry, and workforce solutions. She develops relationships with grantees and new nonprofit partners in the community. Carrie is responsible for creating and investigating new best practices opportunities for positively impacting the community and upholding and furthering the mission of the Sherwood Foundation on its main value of social justice. Carrie has been a huge asset to Omaha in making sure it is a safe place for all women and girls to live, work, and play. Through her work, social justice initiatives have propelled Omaha in the right direction. Her expertise and vision helps to ensure community initiatives are well thought out, collaborative, and implemented. Carrie spends her time volunteering in the Omaha community. She currently serves as the board treasurer for Nonprofit Association of the Midlands. She's also been a member of the UNMC Center for Health Policy Advisory Council, Planning Committee for 2006 Association for Community Health Improvement Conference, National Advisory Committee, and National Advancing the Movement Advisory. Carrie has been awarded the Hope Medical Outreach Volunteer Award, Omaha JC's 10 Outstanding Young Omahans, and is a graduate of Leadership Omaha, the Great Plains Public Health Institute, and the nonprofit Executive Leadership Institute. Carrie, thank you so much for all your leadership and impact in our community.
Thank you. First off, thank you to the WCA for its leadership. Thank you for Jeanette's leadership in taking this organization in a place and in a direction that it needs to go. I sit here humbled by all the women that I am sitting next to and listening to their accomplishments. To the stinkers that nominated me, I know you know who you are. I now know who you are, so paybacks. I want to thank the multitude of mentors in my life and my people, my friend support network that put up with me on a day-to-day basis, go along with my whims. The biggest thanks to my boss and to my colleagues who I have the privilege of every day going to work and thinking about how we can work together to help improve this community. I also get to play and laugh with them, and we put up with each other's antics, which makes life really great. And finally, I want to thank my rock star parents, my soulmate of a husband, my amazing children, one of which is a fierce warrior of protecting women's rights in the making. They teach me humility, they teach me grace, and they teach me love on a daily basis. So thank you to all.
Carrie, thank you. Our next honoree is Nanette Wellens. Nanette Wellens is an operations analyst at United States Strategic Command and vice chair of the Survivors Rising Board of Directors. She's an Air Force veteran, and after a career in the military, she's made Omaha home. Nanette is committed to normalizing the conversation around trauma, specifically domestic violence, sexual assault, and PTSD. She believes everyone needs someone to hear them, to see them, and to believe them free of shame, blame, or guilt. As a leader, Nanette brings her experience and passion to Women's Center for Advancement as a dedicated support group facilitator. Her one objective, creating a safe, supportive space for survivors to share their trauma experience with a group of survivors who get it. She is supportive, non-judgmental, inclusive, caring, compassionate, empathetic, and skilled. Nanette actively and consistently shares information and resources about the WCA and its events, classes, and other services wherever she goes to encourage people to participate and utilize these resources. Nanette, thank you so much for your service to your country and your community.
Thank you, Cerise, and thank you to the WCA for this honor. And I'd also like to thank my family for all the support that they provide me in pursuing my passion in working with survivors of trauma. And most importantly, I'd like to thank the survivors that nominated me for this award. You know, at my very core, I'm a trainer, and I took that approach in support group. And every week we would learn about a new topic related to domestic violence, sexual assault, and trauma related. And what I've learned over the course of the last several years is that each and every survivor has taught me more than I could have ever taught them. So thank you so much. I am truly humbled and grateful to all of the survivors that I have met along the way, who have allowed me the privilege and trusted me with hearing their stories and joining them on their journey to healing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our final honoree, Callie Baker. Callie served as Vice President of Community Investment at the Omaha Community Foundation before her untimely passing in October of 2020. Callie was a champion for women and children, an advocate for equity and inclusion, a fearless force for change in Omaha. Through her work, she channeled her philanthropic spirit to spearhead Omaha Gives, the community's 24-hour celebration of giving that resulted in $3 million going to 100 area nonprofits. She also launched The Landscape, a comprehensive community indicator project incorporating policy and data to help donors better understand the issues our community is facing. Callie's impact and leadership extended into the community outside of work. She always chose to lift others up in every situation. She was a caring mentor and devoted board member to several nonprofits, such as the Union for Contemporary Art, Voice, Spark Community Development Intermediary, Film Streams, ComA, and many others. Those who knew Callie remember her for her eternal optimism, contagious laugh, and passion for the community. She was a beloved daughter, sister, aunt, partner, dog mom, and friend. Callie's depth of heart had no end with anyone. The legacy Callie leaves behind will be felt in our community for generations to come. A special thank you to Callie's friends and family for allowing us to share her story.
Thank you, Cerise. As probably the least qualified person in the room, for a variety of reasons, one more obvious than others, I'm very, very humbled to be here. I've been surrounded by strong women my entire life. It, of course, started with my mother, but it certainly continued on with my sister. She was always the single greatest impact on my life. And we're trying to raise another one. So today, being surrounded by even more strong women in the room, present winners and past winners, I can say that Callie would have also been very humbled and honored to be here. Callie was truly motivated to make the world a more beautiful, welcoming, and inclusive place. And it wasn't just her job, it was truly her defining nature as a human being. She had a very impressive resume and body of work. But after she passed, I think what I and the rest of the family have been most moved by is the people who've reached out to share how she impacted their lives, both personally and professionally. And I think this award serves as yet another reminder of her impact. The services of the WCA are so critically important in providing women who've been impacted by domestic violence access to support and services. And the prevention and education programming provided to the general community is incredibly impactful. We've all got a role to play in identifying the need for those services, and the education and awareness tools the WCA makes available to the community are incredibly important. So on behalf of Callie, myself and the family all say thank you so much. Thank you to those who nominated her. Thank you to my wife as well, who's with me here today. And thank you to my parents and all of her family and friends.
Thank you so much for accepting this award on her behalf. Well, ladies, your accomplishment and your dedication to serve is an inspiration to all of us. You have each changed the face of your community. I hope you know that. And you will leave a legacy that will live on and benefit others. Congratulations to the 2021 Tribute to Women honorees. Jeanette?
Thank you, Cerise. Before we conclude our event, I'd like to bring back our board chair, Denise Powell. She's going to share some really exciting news with you all. Denise?
Okay, earlier I told you how much we miss you and how we can't wait to see you again. Well, I've got some really exciting news for you. On behalf of our incredible WCA Partners Guild, I would like to personally invite you to Remix. This event, formerly known as TGIF, is arguably one of the most fun fundraisers in town, and the Guild is working really hard to make sure that our first ever Remix event will be a night to remember. I also want to go off script for a second and thank our friends at eCreative for this incredible branding and all the work that they've done here. We want to invite you to come celebrate with us. This year's theme is the Roaring 20s. So dust off those flapper dresses because we're going to be celebrating in true Gatsby style. Remix will be held on October 15th with tickets and sponsorship packages going on sale later this week. We would love to have your continued support. We'd love to see you. Trust me when I say that this one you will not want to miss. I hope to see you there. Back to you, Jeanette.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us today to honor these exceptional women and to support the WCA in our mission to help individuals and their families stay safe and grow strong. Don't forget that you can text to donate, scan to donate, or visit our website at wcaomaha.org. That fuels all of our work and helps us to continue to support men and women in the community. I want to congratulate all of the honorees again and thank you all for virtually being here today. And this concludes our 34th annual Tribute to Women event virtually. We will see you in person next year. Thank you all.